Natasha, Mama Bear Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel where we just talk about food preservation, emergency preparedness, things to do to get you and your family ready for any emergency event that might happen. This can be something as simple as job loss or something as major as nuclear war, okay? And we just kind of really talk about what me and my family do. And I share that, and then we help each other. So today, get your drink. I want to talk about it. This is a doozy, so get whatever it is you're drinking, pull up, and get ready to listen. And let's talk about it. So I've been talking for a little bit here and there about unexplained deaths, right? When are we going to talk about all these young people dying? You know, the elephant in the room as far as stats, and there's been a very big problem in our reactive way that we dealt with COVID. And that's not, everybody knows that, right? We were not ready for it. I don't care what side of the fence you are on, we weren't really ready for it. And so there's lots of things to learn from that. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is some things that you can do to prepare for the next one and to prepare for what's happening now even, right? But I thought it was interesting because there's been a lot of, you know, I guess talk about stats and numbers. Even from the beginning, you know, there was the running joke that you could die in a car crash, but if you got to that hospital or that coroner and you had COVID, you went as a COVID death instead of, you know, dying from blunt force trauma in the car, right? And it was kind of a running joke that like everybody's dying from COVID, these numbers aren't right. Deaths and different sicknesses being counted twice, just crazy stuff going on. So we've been chasing our tails for a while when it came to data and what's happening and numbers and stats. Now, I don't know if you were like me, but at the beginning, I was tracking like crazy the amount of people that were getting sick and deaths in all the states, different countries. I was like super obsessed with physically tracking the numbers. And for example, China, their numbers went up, I think, to like 89,000 or 89 something. And it stopped, right? It was like 89,000 sickness or something like that that had it, and then their deaths were very low. And then I remember very distinctly at some point, very early, their numbers stopped dead in their tracks. There was no more updating their numbers, and it didn't matter where you went to track it, their numbers weren't going up anymore. And so it was just an example of, we're not tracking this stuff, we're hiding stuff, we're not understanding what's going on, right? Yesterday, an article finally comes out from CDC admitting that now, today, the data suggests that those that are either fully jabbed or partially jabbed make up the majority of the deaths that are happening right now. Basically, you take those two sections of people, you put them together, that percentage is much higher than the percentage of people that didn't get jabbed, right? Now, let me say something. This is by no means a funny topic, a funny jab, if you will, about people who decided to do that. We're not going to do that on this channel. We're not going to go back and forth. And I've been on that line a little bit of like saying little things, right? And I don't want us to do that, because that's the whole point. A lot of division was happening, a lot of division now, and I just want to nip that in the butt, okay? If you're watching me, it doesn't matter which side of that you're on. I have loved ones that are on the other side of that. And I would absolutely not want something horrible to happen to them. But I think what is scary, or what we need to discuss, is the fact that we do have loved ones that did do that. And now the numbers, which we already knew because we could see it happening, right? But nobody was talking about it. Nobody wanted to discuss it because so much money is funneled into big pharma and into this stuff, right? And making us better, right? They didn't want to talk about how fast things moved and how there was potential for this to not be okay because it was rushed, right? Like these medicines, I have absolutely nothing against, you know, being vaccinated. Absolutely not. I'm got all types of shots, right? I was in the military. No problem. Never have I ever had a problem. doing that. And this time something came about me and said, no, don't do this. It's too soon. It's super, super fast. And we all know that stuff has to go through trials. Trials last years and years and years. And I think we panicked, and of course there was probably certain people that saw dollar signs and we just jumped. And then of course the American people around the world want to be safe, seeing their loved ones pass away. They want to be as safe as possible. They want to do their part, right? And not harming other people. And I get that. I get that feeling and that desire to do that. I get that, right? You could almost say those people are patriotic. You can, because they did it because their country told them to do it. And that's sad, right? But now they finally come out and said that. And so I think it's important because everybody has their journey of what they're like learning about this process and what they took from it. Everybody has hopefully taken something from this whole entire thing that has happened, right? And I think it's important to understand that it will happen again. This is absolutely not the last time that something nasty is going to come to our doorstep. And it becomes, will we be ready next time and be more, proactive with it instead of reactive and chasing our tails? Okay. And as a country, I don't know that we're there yet as far as our government and how we're going to react. I think we have some backward stuff set in place that doesn't make sense. And the day that those things get implemented could be a very nasty day for this country, right? When you talk about camps and quarantines and making and forcing people to do stuff and ripping people from their homes or whatever, that's nasty. And that's where I feel like we will be going the wrong direction. Now, let's talk about what we can do. Know that the current situation is not going away. There's things that will come on our doorstep, viruses, diseases, things like that will make it to our doorstep and won't go away. They will just be part of our society. They'll be part of, like the flu, it will just be part of us and something that we have to protect ourselves against and deal with, right? It's a normal thing. I heard somebody the other day saying, oh man, the flu deaths are up. And I was thinking, no, flu deaths have always, hundreds of thousands of people die from flu every year, right? That number is astronomical, and people don't realize that flu has been here, it's going to continue to be here, and it kills hundreds of thousands of people. I would venture millions if you say the whole world, right? Flu is a nasty thing. So that's not a new thing. Flu deaths is not a new thing. And that's what people have to really do their research and understand, that this stuff is here to stay. And I think that this is just a new version and it's here to stay. RSV has always been here. That's not a new thing. It's just flaring up. And it's just one of those things that's always going to be here. Unless we totally eradicate something, it's not gone. Meds take a while, which I just discussed that a minute ago. So like jabs, right? Don't be naive and just want the magic pill that's going to save the day. It's different that if something gets hit and we have something like it's scary because now you have a lot of people that are not trusting. But pox, there's different treatments and treatments and jabs already ready for that, right? We've dealt with it before. It would be easy to then make it again. We have a couple different versions. That wouldn't be the end of the world. Even the monkeypox that we went through, that wasn't, we didn't necessarily have a jab for that, but because it's in the world of pox, it's very easy to get treatments for that. It's unfortunate because if something crazy comes our way and then now people are, scared to trust, right? And then therefore don't take something that they should, that actually has been treated, has been whatever, that might be an unfortunate day where you have people that could be saved that won't be saved. And it's a hard line on how you feel, because you're a human being that has your rights and has your own thoughts and opinions for your family. And some of those involve never taking any of that stuff. ever. And that's fine. That's your right. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's your choice, right? And I think that that's what we have to remember is respecting people's choices and respecting that people are going to make decisions depending on what they know, what they know to be true, the research that they've done, their family values, what they believe in, right? Inventory. I think inventory, first of all, I talked about this the other day, when it comes to medicines right now, when the shortages, it's very important to be doing your inventories of medicines that you have and going from head to toe. I guess saw the need where we're low on Oragel, and somebody in the house needed Oragel, and I was thinking, okay, you're low on that, and I knew I was low on it, and I was like, okay, I got to get some more of that. There's certain things that you need to have, that you're going to want to have for peace of mind, for quality of life, for making somebody feel better when they are in pain, right? And so it's very, very important that you're doing an inventory. You're going through everything you have. You're going through your family members and seeing, hey, what are all the ailments and different things that they've gone through in the last 5 years? Just everyday ailments. Hey, got a toothache, got an earache, got sick. Maybe it was the flu, maybe it was COVID, whatever, right? Inventory, and make sure that you have those things on hand, right? Maybe you guys go through a lot of Pepto. Maybe you guys go through a lot of certain items, a lot of Tylenol or ibuprofen, whatever it is. I'm going to talk a little bit more about holistic down the line, but whatever it is you believe in, whatever it is you want to get those things, because there's shortages happening, and there's nothing worse than being in pain for something and you don't have what you need, okay? Fill the holes, obviously. And this is my biggest tip when it comes to anything medical, anything taking care of somebody, a virus comes to our doorstep, some kind of disease, treating the symptoms. It doesn't matter how hardcore it is. You do the best of your ability to treat the symptoms. Break it down, because let's say Ebola, it's very overwhelming, or even pox. It's very overwhelming to think, oh my gosh, smallpox is in my house. People die from this. You're panicked, whatever. It's hard. It's going to be hard and overwhelming to think of that. I can only imagine being in that situation. But what I do know is that I've prepared for the symptoms that come along with that and how to treat those symptoms, right? Like the pustules, for example, for pox, and being able to treat those and put a person at ease for that aspect of it. And then you have aspects like inflammation you would treat, and treating fever maybe, and maybe treating fatigue or chills. There's various symptoms that will be happening with whatever it is that the person has, and you being ready to be able to assist them and make their life a little bit easier with those symptoms. So that's my tip. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I've just found that I am a researcher, and as I research different diseases, try to prepare for different things, I've kind of just learned myself that you treat the symptoms, and then it's much easier to break it down. And then you can put all those cards maybe together, all those notes together. Hey, this is my pox folder. These are the different symptoms that they say happen, and here's the different things that I have to prepare for those different symptoms. And you have it in a little book or a little folder, or a little, plastic sleeve, so that you can then go back to that. If there's no hospitals, no doctors, you can't get out and about, we're inundated with it, and they're not taking patients, and you have to stay at home and you have to treat people at home, that you're somewhat ready to assist them in different things that might happen to them, right? So treating symptoms. Next thing I have is, and I just mentioned this, and that's researching and noting. I cannot say enough, just because of grid down in that scenario. We go through something crazy like an EMP where everything is shut down and we were brought down to our knees. There is no more internet. There is no more getting information. There is no just calling up some kind of nurse line or anything like that, right? It's literally going to be whatever knowledge you have right there in that moment in your being, or that you've surrounded yourself with physically, that's going to help you. So research now. Research symptoms, basic symptoms, research stuff, research different diseases that if you feel like you want to research stuff. But research, and then make your notes, take your notes, start making your own home pharmacy doctor notes for yourself. These are ways that I can treat fever. These are the ways that I can treat fever. And you can have your over-the-counter stuff, prescription type stuff, and you can have some holistic stuff, and start building your notes and your information. Get your books, get your literature to help back you up, so that if you need to look up something or something comes your way, there's no internet, there's no whatever, and you can go to this manual maybe and look up, more information on what is happening, or look up more information on a symptom because you can't anymore on the internet. Like, those are the things that people don't realize is serious. An EMP absolutely is going to happen one day, and whether it's enemy, whatever, it's going to happen, and it's going to be not, people are going to die. It's not going to be cool. People are going to panic. And if you're not, whatever you have is whatever you have, right? Whatever hand tools you have at the time, whatever you have in your home, on your person, in your mind, that's it. That's it. And you're going to have to make it and adapt and be diverse in the sense of this is the way we're going to live life to be able to survive, right? And then the last thing I have is really start getting into your holistic options. I think I'm going to do a video here in the next couple days. Somebody had asked me to kind of start talking about holistic stuff. Now, I don't want to get super deep into that just because of misinformation, right? Getting put in that box, because at the end of the day, I don't want to get shut down. I want to be able to continue to do this. And I think that it's important to just know that, hey, there's certain things that could get me in trouble, and I have to respect them to some level, the rules that they have here. But my other channel, I will be doing, it's kind of crazy that I just said that, because on my other channel, I will be showing a little bit more. But I'm going to do a video on here to just kind of walk through the basics of holistic, kind of where to start, research different folks that I followed or that I researched that I think are bona fide, great people to follow and learn from, and learning the basics, right? The things that I think are important to know at the beginning before you ever even start trying to tinkle and do different things, right? Because I think that the skill of holistic medicine and knowing the ability of a plant and the properties that are within it that literally can help heal our body is like something every human being on earth should know about. Like, we should teach children this in school, right? Because it's life-saving, it's generational wealth, if you will, to in my opinion, knowing this information and having this skill set. And so I'm going to do it. I am new to it myself. I'm going to continue to teach my children that, my husband, everybody. And when I learn stuff, you should see the way their eyes light up when they're like, whoa, this is amazing, right? And it's cool that they get that aspect of how powerful the stuff around us that God gave us is in helping us stay healthy and stay alive, right? And treat us literally, right? So research, write down stuff, do your inventories, and really start looking at stuff, holistic stuff, and start small, right? But just start to teach yourself some stuff. I think it's important that you really be getting your over-the-counter, anything that you can get your hands on that's store-bought as well, unless of course you do not believe in that stuff, that's fine. But if you do, be stacking this stuff up, because we are going to get to a point where there's no more of that. And there's already a little bit of panic with that, with parents, with mothers, with fathers trying to find certain stuff and not being able to find it. And so I think it's important to just make sure that you see that, understand that's happening, so that you can then go out and try to get the things that you need to get while you can still get them. I would hate for you to be, it's the whole point of this channel and us discussing this stuff, is so that you can be ahead of stuff and not have to worry and not fall into that panic, because you will. If you don't have something and you need it and your child is in pain, you are going to be upset and suffer and hurt because you did not prepare in getting that thing for your child or whatever. Okay, so I will see you guys on tomorrow's video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share this video out. I have started to see my subs start to creep You know, they're creeping up, literally a couple subs a day. I'll take it. And check out my other channel, right? Mama Bear Homestead. I drop videos there on Tuesdays and Fridays. So today I'll have a video there at 3 p.m. PST time. And so it will be after this video, you guys. Go check that out. I'll make sure that I link it in my community posts. But the link to the channel is in my description box. All right. So you guys be well. Take care. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Bye.